Oh, let me go poop.
3, 2, 1.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight out of the Scarlet Halls and writing our new Squid Boys in Borealis. I'm Slidewhistle.
I'm Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag, whose poor microphone does not appear to be working tonight. So bear with me while I scream at you through the twisting nether.
Whoa!
Why'd you break your microphone for?
Because I was so excited to get my Squid Boy. I was like, yeah! And I picked up the nearest thing and just smashed the fuck out of it on my desk. And it turns out it was my professional level audio equipment.
You should really have an expert come out and assess the damages done to your professional microphone.
I really should. Perhaps one of these days I will. But today I'm recording episode 10 of Another Pod Do Not Relent.
Double digits. We did it.
Wow. Look at us go.
That's 10 hours of our voices that we've got to sift through to find pieces that are good. Oh.
Technically only 9 for Immunization and I, considering you and Lumpy handled episode 4, the holiday one.
You know, I really wanted to have Lumpy on again. I thought maybe if you were going to be, because you're going to be out of town for a little bit, I thought maybe if we can get Lumpy on to replace Aaron for one episode, just one more episode, we can give Lumpy another shot at glory.
Just replace one small hairy man with another.
Hey, he's a boy. He's not a man yet.
He watched P-Pop's holo tapes. He's a man now.
Also, I thought he died.
Yes. He's dead. Or is he? Drag rattle. So, Lumpy would be a great drag name. Just Lumpy.
Welcome to the main stage, Lumpy.
This bitch called Lumpy.
Oh, that'd be a great name. Someone out there,
I am
please.
serving up Imperials in my living room realness.
Please, somebody out there, if you're an aspiring drag queen, you have to use the name Lumpy. You're officially required now. Enough about Lumpy. What did you guys do in WoW, Aaron? What was your week in WoW like?
My week in WoW was filled with lots of silly billy adventures. I ran some mythics, which, as I'm recording this podcast, I realize I need to run one more.
Oh no, still?
Because I was away from my computer all day, so I'm gonna... Your boy's gonna be hitting up that Freehold Mythic 0 right after this.
Can we talk about that skip? That skip's crazy. Have you done that skip yet?
I have not. What is the skip?
There's people that are doing 4 mythic runs where after Freehold, where they have a rogue and maybe a warlock. And what you do is if you just kill the last boss, it counts. So you have to do like all this like elaborate jumping, the elaborate jumping to make sure that you don't pull anything or pull anything extra. And then the rogue can cloak the entire group so everyone can sneak past that terrible bridge. And then you just kill the last boss. You just kill him. And then you just do that 4 times and you get the achievement. You get your quest done. It's super cheap, but
wow,
it works.
I should do that.
But if you fuck up, you get yelled at relentlessly. It's very toxic. It's very Everbloom with that rocket jump thing where you had to hop on that stupid cliff over and over again. It's kind of like that, but worse, I think. But anyway, back to your week in WoW. Sidebar.
And we took our hive mind adventure, which I'm sure we'll expound on in a little bit. But I was sort of getting ready for my trip as Aaron the Human, so I didn't play as much WoW this week, but I still managed to get some fun adventures in. Immune, what were you up to this week?
Much of the same of what you described. Probably the highlight of the week was the hive mind, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Other than that, as you said, ran some mythics, did all my normal things. Speaking of the mythics, we've been getting back into trying to grind out some higher mythic pluses. But on the way, we ran some that we haven't even touched or thought about in months. Like, we did King's Rest the other day, and I think I had run that maybe once. And, like, that was just when we first unlocked it. So that was an adventure.
Yeah, you forget a lot about that dungeon when you haven't run it in a while. Because it wasn't like broken when it first came out and it was just overtuned or whatever. There was something about it that made it like a hell to go through. So we just stopped running it.
I personally find it broken because I don't know if Umbric or Ulthric, the Void Elf guy, is supposed to bring you there in like a cutscene or like a specific thing. The only way I've ever gotten to King's Rest is you have to scale a mountain and like slow fall or goblin glide or do a bunch of weird parkour behind the Atal'Dazar entrance to get to him.
Yeah, I was trying to
And
think, wait, because we did
and
King's Rest.
he's standing there like he's like, I did it, I helped you, but like I've never seen him port me there. I don't know how someone who isn't cheesing it actually makes it to King's Rest.
Yeah, you just climb those stairs. I don't remember getting there last time, Immune. I just remember, did we get summoned to the entrance?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got summoned, but I definitely have gotten there before just by running through the area that is like the instance of the Atal'Dazar dungeon, right?
It's like behind it.
Yeah, but other than that, oh, I ran islands for the first time in probably like 2 or 3 months. I got to see the Worgen one for the first time. My first time seeing it. It was kind of neat.
That's where Quest for Hat lives on.
Yep, that's where every week I'm out there trying to get that top hat. You know, I really wish I could queue for a specific one, but Blizzard won't let me do that. So
Maybe
the
someday.
adventures 3 times as long as it needs to be.
To even get the chance at getting it.
But yeah, Slide, what about you this week?
I ran a bunch of Mythic Pluses at 3 in the morning when everyone was sleeping. I ran a 7 Mother Load today. It went as well as you thought it would be. Our tank was pretty bad. So that was a hoot and a holler. Got the Hive Mind. After the Hive Mind quest, me and Logan, our friend Logan, who's listening to this probably, and Immune, we went out and tried to get him his Horde Slayer title. It didn't go so well. We strayed too far from the path and we got murdered by like 25 Horde that jumped us in the deserts of Vol'dun.
It's
Wait,
always in the deserts of Vol'dun.
Immune, which character are you getting the Horde Slayer title on? I thought you had it on all of your people.
Oh yeah, it wasn't for me. It was for Logan.
Oh, I see.
It was his first time in War Mode ever. His first War Mode experience.
Wow.
He was afraid even flying up to the area to begin with. And then I finally have stepped back into my PvP rated battlegrounds, trying to get that Nightsaber mount for the new Vicious Saddle. It's no hippo, but it's something, I guess.
And Nightsaber is one of the less interesting, like, general alliance mount archetypes, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh man, but until I get, was it 750 7th Legion medallions for the Priestess's Moonsaber? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the cool Moonsaber, like best looking one for sure.
Well, and also
It is the one that she rides.
it also flies. Did you guys know that? It flies.
What?
It's a flying Moonsaber.
Is it just gonna, like, shoot out wings like the Arcanist Moonsaber?
No, it just runs on like moon power. Like it doesn't even have wings. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
It's kind of like the jeweled panther models from Pandaria. They just kind of run on the air. So it looks cool. But yeah, that was my weekend WoW. Just playing a whole lot, maybe too much of this game. Jesus.
So yeah, as we were saying, we progressed in Raid. We are going to talk about it because we did it. We downed normal blockade.
Literally one shot after the nerfs were introduced. So it was just changing sea foam or whatever, or sea swirl, is the only reason we were dying.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us a whole extra second to do it, and that whole second felt like it was like 2 minutes. Like, I was like, oh, I can stand here forever before I have to move.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there in the swirl. I'm like, oh, I can probably disenchant a few things before I have to move.
It's just,
I checked on my auction bank while I was there. The big guy shot out the sea swirl, and I was like, "How are my salmon doing?"
did any of them sell?
Like two. The market's really down for midnight salmon at the moment.
Yeah, they're not using feasts anymore, right? They're just kind of nothing now.
Yeah, they're just languishing. Will speaks on it often about how he purchased several thousand midnight salmon and has yet to sell any.
Oof.
Ooh.
How long has he had these salmon for?
Like a month.
Why wasn't he selling them? Will, why weren't you selling the salmons? Well, you see, it's because I forgot to log on. Well, there you have it. There it is, everybody.
He forgot to log on.
So yeah, after downing the normal blockade, we got to see Jaina for the first time, which is such a cool fight.
Oh my god.
May I ask, first moment she rolls out, she's got her two boys. Oh, but she's not walking. What is she doing? She's using the fucking mage class mount. I'm like, hell yeah, girl. Hell yeah.
She's like, I gotta get this quest mount for my raid. I gotta look cool flying on the disc that nobody ever rides in on.
She's like, wait, all the mages don't ride this?
They don't, though.
I wonder if Blizzard has like mount stats and like what's the most used mount. I wonder if the mage disc mount shot up in like use after everyone saw Jaina riding it. She's a trendsetter. Man, she does so many crazy things in that fight. Like during the first transition, when she literally freezes the ocean, when she makes like a like super egg orb around her, and then she like teleports the egg by like shrinking it over herself and vanishing. Like, what is this new move you're doing? Like no one can do these moves. What are you doing? She's creating new spells like on the fly.
Even on the boat, there's a moment where she's like, "I'm gonna freeze you," and you'd think it'd be like a cone of cold or something like that. If you actually look at the thing, it's like a huge mile-wide impact palm that like shoots out across the sea. I'm like, oh hell, what's going on? Her ice magic looks incredibly cool in this fight.
Yeah, when she does that move, I thought, no, I guess it wouldn't be. When I first saw it, I thought it was her ship firing arcane barrages at us again, because it's that same color, but I guess it's not, because it is ice. And I got excited, because I thought it was her ship cannons again. But it can't be, right? Because we're on the ship, right? Or is that a different ship? Are we on the ship?
We are not on the Flying Dutchman.
But maybe she had the Alliance player characters, like, before the fight, made sure to, like, mark the areas that she was going to have her ships fire at, so that's what that was.
I know we talked about it before, but that quest is still so ridiculous. Can you tell them? I don't think we've ever talked about this quest, like, in detail, and how silly it is. I guess for any Horde players out there that haven't done this war campaign yet.
Yeah, so this is part of the Alliance war campaign, one of the like final parts of it. You like team up with Jaina, and you're in Bralis Harbor, and there are these like 3 or 4 Horde ships, and then she's like, "Champion, you need to like mark these ships so I can fire my like arcane barrages at them." So then you like just literally be like, "There's one, Jaina," and then she fires, and then you're like, "There's the second one, Jaina," and then she fires, and then it's like you couldn't just fire at these ships.
It's such a weird step.
You're on the wall, maybe like 70 feet above it. Maybe like you could throw a rock and hit those ships, and Jaina's like, "Champion, I need your help to shoot my incredibly large super blasts."
It's so unnecessary. I think it's still along the lines of Jaina's like, okay, I want them to feel special. I can do this all by myself. But if I make them think that they're controlling what I'm firing at, then they'll feel powerful too. Because I'm so convinced that in that cinematic with her and Mechatork, she could have done so many things to stop those ships, and she's like, I gotta let the gnome do it. He needs his time too.
I'll let him have the controller for the GameCube and pretend that he's playing so he can push the button.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's so crafty. But yeah, so that Jaina fight, we got pretty close on one of the last pulls. I feel like we really had it down, and people got those mechanics picked up real quick. Except for the last freezing thing, where you have to like run. You have to avoid her like creeping patch of like frost. That thing's so fast.
It's basically a DPS check, right? You have to like down her giant ice wall before it gets to you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to kill the ice wall, and then you have to run up that like little hill and free Nathanos up there, I think. But even when you're up there, I think that the ice still follows you up to Nathanos, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, because I imagine it might, because you also, once you beat down the wall, you have to beat down her big water guardian guy. So I could see it being like, okay, you bought yourself a little bit of time. Now keep fighting the guardian. And only after it's dead can Nathanos come in and hit her with the big arrow.
Which,
Also,
what the fuck? Why?
like, Nathanos is such a jobber. Like, come on, dude. Like, you have one job and then you just get frozen and we have to save you.
I felt they
He
could have
definitely paid off the writers for this expansion. It's like literally anything that happens is like, and Nathanos was there.
Yeah, there's so many horde people that aren't being used. Like, how cool would it be if like it was Bane who like just used his totem to like smash it or just something?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Give Lorthamar something to do, especially in the raid where it's battle for Azeroth where we're fighting each other. Why is it gotta be Nathanos again? Stop it.
Yeah, but we ended up getting Jaina down to about, what, like 30%, I think?
Mm-hmm.
We had her lower than that, but granted, there was only like 2 of us alive, so like we wouldn't have killed her. But yeah, we got her. We were definitely in the very last phase, the very last of her life.
Fights like this really make me think of like older fights and how much cooler they could have been with using modern techniques and modern rendering. Like, can you imagine if Kael'thas did his version of this? So you're fighting him and he's like, he gets pissed and he like shoots a big bolt of fire and sets stuff on fire. And then he's just like, I'm going to burn you all down. And you have to like run from building to building to avoid the fire. Like, that would have been super neat. And maybe I'm just biased because he's the only fire mage who's ever mattered.
That's
But it's
probably.
like, it's like that, to think that we now have reached a new limit of like cinematic fight that is so cool, that just makes a lot of the older stuff look really silly. Like, they couldn't have done better because them's were the times.
Yeah, and
But
I
I
do
feel
feel like they
like
just put a lot of effort into this fight, and it just really paid off, I feel like. And like, during our
Mhm.
last pull of the night, how we just like fucked around and pulled Time Warp just to see the cool thing that they did with Jaina.
She
No,
just ice blocks.
I didn't really get what the thing was there. What did she do? She just ice blocked while
Yeah,
we pulled.
if you ever were to use any kind of lust or time warp or anything, she will automatically ice block and she'll waste it. She'll do it for the entirety of your time warp, so you get nothing out of it.
So you can't use time warp during that fight at all,
There's
or
one.
just when it's on the boat.
You can only use it when you're not facing her. So like when you're facing like the wall, when you're breaking that wall down, you can lust there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guilds, I think Limit cheesed it. Cheesed their mythic Jaina by, how did they do it? I think they had somebody run up to Jaina and they used their lust as a shaman, and then Jaina ice blocked, and then that person died, and then they started over again, and it was something weird that made it basically so like they could use it because somebody's debuff for time warp was gone. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to actually get 39 seconds of time warp on Jaina, and that was the strategy that they were using. So I kind of cheesed the fight, but I guess that's why it took so long, because their strat wasn't the best one in terms of the mythic strats.
Yeah, but I like that as a mage, she sees a Time Warp or a loss, and she's like, "Nope, I know what this shit is. I'm like just ice blocking."
like every mage, when the chips are down, she just ice blocks and like messages her friends like, 25 hordes at huge ice flotilla I just made. You guys down?
Can you imagine if instead of ice blocking, she just like blinked and went like invisibility, and you see her in the corner trying to like hide? No, come on! It's gonna happen.
My favorite part of the fight is when she uses both Ice Shield and Mystic Shield, and then she eats some food real quick to get like 16% back.
mage food. But yeah, we didn't end up clearing it. We got pretty close. We did this weird strat where we decided to go for blockade and Jaina last because we did heroic first just to get our feet wet in that.
I mean, we were able to down champions of the light heroic pretty easily, so that
Did
gave
did
us
did
some gear.
any did either of you guys get anything off that? Because I got a big fat title core.
You mean you got a breath up on Swamdi? But yeah,
Yeah.
that's all that I got. I got 10 breaths. I got 10 of Swamdi's baby breaths that I really don't want. You can keep those.
Yeah, I think that's about all I got too.
Yeah, I didn't get any gear.
And then we got our asses slapped around by the Jade Fire.
Yes,
Council.
yes. So tell me, how do you guys feel about that fun DDR phase where you're sent into space to face this monk in combat?
I have yet to do it successfully. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm still like, I turn towards the first, I turn towards the second, turn towards the third, turn towards the fourth. All of a sudden, she's just like, that one doesn't count, and then I plummet to earth and die.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get the timing right too, because I feel like it's a little either early or late based on what I felt like it should be.
You've got to be quick, I've noticed, because I managed to not get hit by any of them. You just got to spin your mouse camera so quick to make sure that you don't get blasted by anything. It's just it seems to be a really tight timing on it.
Yeah, must be. But again, I think it's just another example of how they're really pulling out all the stops for these cool mechanics during these raid fights.
Yeah, it's super unique. Like, what the hell? Like, you're just playing a weird minigame, a weird Bop It minigame up in space. It's not space, but in the sky. We got them to what, like 10%?
I believe we have managed to kill the orc, and then we died to the Blood Elf Phoenix. And when you die, my favorite part is that they like spill the tea real quick and they totally undermine you. And I'm like, well, fuck you guys, but that's fair, I guess.
Oh yeah, because we never died to them on normal. And so when they killed us, they just shit talk. What did she say? It was so fucking rude.
It's like, they're like, I knew they weren't worthy. And then the Blood Elf is like, he's like, truly underwhelming. I was telling you. I'm like, oh. As I like reapply my buffs and shuffle back up to get my next ass whooping.
Yeah, that's just a cool fight. I'm excited for Mekatork on heroic. I think it's gonna be wild. We're gonna die so many times.
But speaking of really fun mechanics and cool things that Blizzard's been experimenting with, also this week, as we mentioned earlier, we got that sweet hive mind mount.
Yeah, boy, we're Squidman now.
Man, that was both very frustrating and very satisfying to do that quest line. Because the way that we did it was we all assigned monocles to like the 5 of us just to pick up like before we met up and did it. And I had the yellow monocle, and I did not think it was going to be as difficult as it was. My God. So like for like the other ones were just like collecting shit from like dungeons, right?
Yeah.
I know Green was just entering a code that someone much smarter than I had given to me. So I just walked in, cleared Sky Reach, which is easy to do now that I'm a geared 120. And then hit a like 10-digit code, and I got the green monocle.
Yeah, that's the one that I got as well. And it was funny because I, messed around with this decoder thing at the end of the dungeon trying to figure it out. And then after about 45 minutes of trying to do some like math and try to figure out what this code is I need to put in, I just decided to give up and I went on Wowhead. And on Wowhead, funny enough, they said, yeah, here's a 10-digit code. We don't really know how you're supposed to get it, but we know that this works, so go ahead.
How is that? Like, how many digits of that number was it? Like, how many was it? How many numbers? How many digits?
It was like 10.
If I'm remembering correctly, the Wowhead article was just like, this is apparently a multiple of the number that is given. Okay.
Like, does someone just? How do you brute force that? Like, I don't get how long did that take? Probably forever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Acco-
know.
According to Logan, one of the 5 in our group, the red one, he didn't say if he used a guide or if he just knew. The red one just involved buying fish and giving them to NPC in Vashir.
Yeah, I was reading about that one. He basically had to like buy fish from people, but then the fish had like a cooldown on it to like deliver it to somebody else. So like one fish had like a 30-minute cooldown, one had like a 20-minute cooldown, but one of the fish had like a 5-minute cooldown. So he had to book it to some person to give the fish to, or I don't know, someone to feed the fish to, and I guess he just barely got there like within the timer. So I guess it was like a exciting fish race in Bashir is what he did for his monocle.
What was the blue one? Or is it, did we already see that
so
one?
so Will had blue, and from what I saw during some market research from when I thought I would get blue, it is a lot of going. It's a lot of random notes, and then going to locations vaguely said in those notes, and then going to another one. But there's like 10 to 15 of them. It seems very similar to like the abyssal eel type quest, where they might tell you like tree, and then you have to think of what are the important trees in the world.
Uh,
So there was no time limit, but it was like the clues were incredibly vague.
that's kind of cool. Though. You get to travel the world and see some stuff that you haven't seen in a while. And there was like
Hmm.
quest text tied to it too, right? I'm pretty sure. So that's neat. It wasn't fucking yellow monocle, which is the meanest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it took like the three of us getting together and trying to figure it out.
The yellow monocle, you have to go back to Halls of Origination, which is a dungeon in Cata with the weird stone cat people, the Tolvir. And they added some thing where you press a button and you go down the secret stairwell, and it's just like the world's biggest Bejeweled game, but like way worse than Bejeweled. There's
I,
like,
it's
oof.
you said it was equivalent to making designs in Animal Crossing where you had to go pixel by pixel.
Well, that's if you just cheat. Somebody made an add-on that
Mm.
you punch in and somehow it solves the puzzle for you. Kind of. It doesn't solve it for you, but it gives you the way to solve it. Because there's how many little pieces are there? There's like 200 little things, 200 little nodes.
So it was basically like the shape of a donut in a like probably like 60 by 60 like square, and in each square there is a space that is a certain color. There's 4 colors, the same as 4 colors of the monocles. And also spread throughout here are these different buttons. And when you press these buttons, they change the colors of the ones that are next to them, or like diagonally from them, or in a line from them, depending on what the shape of the lever is. And you are supposed to just figure out what combination of pressing all these buttons you use to make it so that the whole board turns the same color.
But there are colors that can't be changed because they're sitting in areas where the pylons you change can't reach them. So before you even start the damn puzzle, you have to determine which puzzle color you have to use by going to each piece individually and trying to find which one won't change. It's terrible. I spent so much time in it trying to figure it out, and I couldn't even do it. Immune had to come in with the add-on, and we all had the add-on. Me, Will, and Immune are trying to figure it out with this add-on. And I messed up this fucking add-on so many times that I think it's actually harder to use the add-on than it is to just figure it out yourself. I kept putting on the wrong color. I didn't know that I forgot that there was a plus symbol instead of a cross symbol. I just fucked it up so bad. And luckily Immune was able to figure it out with his math brain. Because I couldn't do it.
Ugh. So it's only because I knew I would mess something up if I didn't just sit there and very slowly go through one by one. I'm like, I can't rush anything or I will mess everything up. It was very stressful because I like clicked something wrong a few times and had to go back and fix it. It was just a mess.
Well, we finally got that one out of the way. I was worried that we weren't going to get that one like that day. I was like, we're going to have to come back to this tomorrow. We're going to have to punch in the stupid
Also,
pattern.
yeah, I mean, it was mostly because it was the weekend and like we wanted to get it as soon as possible. But there was definitely like a race against time for a thing that isn't time gated.
Yeah, we just added a fake time to make it more exciting. We added a fake self-timer.
Yeah.
I was at work and you were like, you got to do it in the next hour because otherwise we're going to have to do it tomorrow. And who knows what tomorrow will be.
You never know.
Yeah, so once we gathered up all of our monocles and then waited for Aaron to get back from work, we all met up in Suramar.
That's sometimes a funny extra added step. Like we all were just sitting by the entrance just waiting for Aaron to log in.
I had to close at work.
Oh no, this is just the only time-gated thing that we had to make it more exciting.
Drag him, Immune, drag him.
But yeah, so we all had our monocles on. We're looking classy, and then we roll into everyone's least favorite zone in the world, Suramar, which isn't an insta-kill nowadays, so that's good. But I just remember how much I hated that zone before. And we all found like this one house in Suramar that upstairs had this like rainbow gate of like the same 4 different colors that match all of our monocles. So one person had to stay and wait by this gate while the other 4 people went to different places in Suramar and killed an ad that was associated with one of the 4 gates, and you guys all had to kill them at like the same time, right?
Yeah, you had to coordinate the kills, and my favorite were, I think it was like, I guess Slide, because Immune, you were the person who had to run into the room in the next part. Slide, what did your ad look like?
He was just a big, ugly wizard. He was a chunky wizard too.
Okay, because mine was a skinny wizard. Will's ad was literally like a T-bone steak and a pile of meat that slithered across the ground.
What?
That was weird. It had to be bugged because I saw Will's because Will doesn't have flying in Legion, so I had to be the taxi to fly. So does Logan, so I had to fly Logan and Will both to their spots. And yeah, Logan's was just like a regular wizard, but Will's was literally just like a walking pile of like eaten ribs. Like it was so weird. It had to be a visual bug, but we both saw it, so it was bizarre. But yeah, we did that. We pet some cats. It just it's a cool quest that like has you go back to a lot of old spots, which it's fun when they use old assets like that. Like even when you start the quest, you go back to Shatrath and you talk to Grifta, whose talismans were like a joke for a while. Like I think you bought one of his talismans to use, and you thought that it like actually treasure tracked like when we first started, because I told you that it treasure tracked, and you were.
Wait, you just did this as a trick before?
Yeah, before it didn't do anything. The neck didn't do anything. It's like a joke that like costs a lot of gold. I guess back in the day, it cost like 80 gold or whatever, which is a lot of gold. And so I told you to buy it and wear it, and you did for a little bit.
I do. I remember this, but look at this now. Okay, it did something.
Yeah, it came in handy a long while later. Yeah, there's just like a platforming puzzle, and there was the weird like puzzle, like the logic puzzle at the end with like which 2 people can ride this platform at the same time, and now which 3 of you in which combination can get off and get on. I'm like, what is this?
I won't lie. I was a little offended I wasn't the rider.
Yeah,
I know it's just a random 1 out of 5 chance, but I'm like, I play the game. I pay my dues.
I don't think it's random.
Make me the rider.
I think they picked on the Worgen and the Gnome in the group because we're not the pretty races. The dwarf, the prettiest dwarf in the world. You have a Lady Draenei and a Night Elf. This is very, very racist to me. But yeah, now we have our sweet mounts that you can't use in Raid of Battlegrounds, which makes me sad. I wanted to see if we could cheat. But yeah, it's a cool mount. I'd say if you don't have it yet, find some people you want to, work with and go get it. It's funny because I know our problem in the beginning was that a lot of folks were doing this just to do it. And so they made like random friends and random groups, but then they never saw those people again. So nobody can hop into their like little thing anymore because up to 5 people can ride this mount together. But now nobody can because they're only attuned to those 4 strangers who are lost to the wind now.
Yeah, and that's a shame too, because when you all ride together, you get this added speed boost, and when all 5 of you guys are in there, we are moving pretty fast.
Yeah, we're zipping. But I guess they did make it so you can do the last part of the attunement, I think, with new people, and it'll reset your attunement. So if you want to go back to that disc world and have fun figuring out which one of you is the ugly race, then go ahead, get retuned.
So overall, hive mind, A+ experience, A+ multi-person mount.
It's cool. We need to go back into the other ones because there's like 4 other secrets that we need to get like started on, like the scary nightmare unicorn and the little scary ghost drain eye girl, and the waste of time. Yo, we got to get that waste of time. I need it for my Clockstoppers transmog.
2003 film Clockstoppers.
We should review that one as episodes. Just forget it's a WoW podcast and just review Clockstoppers.
I still think of the scene where they make their friend spin on his head by just pausing him and spinning him in the Clockstopper world.
They make a dog pee on a male lady, right? Is that don't they do that in the movie? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure they
Peeing
freeze
in
time
the-
and move the peeing dog, right?
It's like the biggest abuse of like time powers in the world. Like making a dog pee on some poor male lady. What's wrong with you?
Okay, well, let's get back on track here.
Oh man, I want to talk about Clockstoppers some more.
Please. I was this close to talking about the Nick.com game.
But
Alright,
anyways, since we're talking about multi-person mounts, I'm pulling Time Warp here.
Ooh.
Oh.
And this can only be, I mean, with that segue, it can only be so many topics.
Yeah, I know a couple of them, but...
Maybe
okay,
we bait
Okay,
I
if you guys
I
are
grabbed
ready,
my boost.
I am going to set a timer. And if anyone is new to the podcast, let me just say that we play this game called Time Warp, and just like the mage spell in the game, I will give these two boys 40 seconds to name as many, in this case, multi-person mounts as they can. And at the end of 40 seconds, whoever has the most will win, and the one that gets the least loses and has to take a shot of alcohol of their choosing.
Sounds good.
So, if you guys are
Agreeable
both
enough terms?
ready, set,
Mhm.
go.
The Obsidian
Traveler's
Nightwing,
Tundra Yak.
Sandstone Drake.
Shit.
The Explorer's
X,
the Explorer's
XLR
Tundra's
double
Mammoth.
rocket.
Ooh, fuck, that's the way. I think you got that one too. The Stormwind Sky Chaser.
Fuck, the bike. Chauffeured
Oh.
Mechaneer's Chopper.
No,
and
no,
but just Mechaneer's Chopper is a 2.
Sandstone Drake, Obsidian Nightwing, Stormwind Sky Chaser. Can't even that many left.
The Dreadwake ship mount.
The Tundra Mammoth, the Grand Expedition Yak. There's more mammoths that I'm the name of though. Ooh,
And time.
the dinosaur one. The big the long boy. That's damn it.
The Brutosaur.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did not have the Brutosaur on the list, and that was after the time anyways. But I say Slide wins that one with a score of 5-2. And Slide named the Nightwing little guy that you get that one from Recruiting a Friend, right?
Correct.
He got the Sandstone Drake. He got both of the 2 Yaks. I counted like the one with the T-Mog as one and the other one just as, because I think there's one for Horde and Alliance. I just counted them as one. And then you got the Stormwind one. Aaron got the Chopper and the Rocket, and surprisingly, you missed the Hive Mind mount, guys.
Yo, what the fuck?
Ah,
We just talked
fuck.
about it.
And I also would have
Damn it.
accepted you mentioning the Druid travel form, which technically counts.
Wow, I mean, are you calling druids mounts? What's wrong with you? They're people.
Anyways, okay. Aaron, what are you drinking?
I'm taking a shot of a leftover Tito's mixture that we had in our home. It is primarily Tito's vodka, but there's also some rum and other stuff in there.
This
So
sounds
we had
like
to
a really
consolidate.
terrible description.
We had to consolidate to free up room for our superb owl party.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? You guys just poured multiple alcohols into like a vat?
There was a bunch of big hard liquors that were at the top, and we needed room for chicken wings. So we consolidated them into one. So
Wait,
while
how many alcohols are in this?
4,
Oh no.
Wait, how many? Hold up. So it's a rum and a vodka, and what else?
another vodka and another rum, I think.
Okay, I guess I guess in terms of mixture, it's not the worst, but we need to play a Tenbo Salute after this. I feel this is the worst loss in the history. Aaron, no, you're not gonna make it. This sounds okay. I guess we're ready.
Ugh.
Well, what's your review? I need a review on this Frankenstein mixture you just consumed.
It's not that bad.
How's the oaky afterbirth taste? Is it sweet?
It's smooth. You know what? I trust Tito's, which the majority of this is. So, good on you, gang. I'm not dead yet. That
You
said, I
did
have
it.
yet to get up from my spot, so I'll probably die as soon as I get up from the bed. I'm ready to tell you guys what happened in the quest for Hatch.
He is going across the map to find a sacred flat-brimmed hat. He will journey across the sand. He will strike out any man. All his foes will fall down dead to the depths atop his head. He knows what he has to do. He'll never leave the island queue. He won't waver pen on that. He will win this quest for hat.
Not a damn thing.
All right, so it's what's worth fighting for.
What do we want? A level 68 druid.
Thinking about me.
You guys didn't think I'd come at you immediately with that one, didn't you?
I mean, I actually knew that you would. I was hoping that you would. Give me somewhere to go. Did you see that Aladdin trailer?
I just saw Big Blue Genie and I didn't react, but I was like, oof.
I watched it after I was running Arena Battlegrounds last night while I was drunk at like 4 a.m, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Will Smith looks terrifying. He looks like the world's biggest Frankenstein Smurf, and I absolutely hate everything about it. Okay, let's get back on topic, because that's staying in. I'm not deleting that. I refuse to. The world needs to hear my take on Aladdin and Will Smith as the genie.
Well,
Wait, a controversial opinion. Will Smith as Genie look bad.
speaking of Will Smith as a giant smurf, I think we should talk about the new Kul Tiran quest line and mount that were revealed.
You know what? No one's really talking about the fact that character actor Will Smith in Blueface shows up halfway through the Kul Tiran intro quest.
He's the new elemental model confirmed for mages.
Actually, yeah, Jaina decides that she needs to give a gift to the Alliance, so she's like, I'm going to summon my best water elemental. But it goes a little wrong because she got a little drunk, and she ends up summoning Will Smith the Smurf instead of a normal water elemental. And she's like, Anduin, I guess you could have this if you'll still have us in the Alliance.
Ho 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 ho! Wipe your feet at the door.
The truest of nightmare scenarios. No, thank you. But yeah, this questline seems pretty cool for the Kul Tirans. Again, it still boggles my mind that they weren't going to have them in as an allied race to begin with. So I'm sure they're working hard and quickly to get this pumped out. But you literally build a fucking boat to gift to Anduin. There sounds nothing more Kul Tiran than building a boat and giving it to the leader of the Alliance.
Yeah, and it is a little weird, though, that Jaina feels the need to prove her worth to the Alliance when she's been pretty adamantly fighting alongside the Alliance leaders for a while now.
Yeah, it's weird that she shows up after X amount of years, and after like a month, she's like, "I am Kultiris," and her mom, who has lived there her entire life, is like, "You go, you do you, sweetie. I guess you just run us now."
I guess she really took leaving in Legion to heart. She's like, well, I'm leaving and I'm not fucking coming back, so I gotta do something. She was committed to fucking noping out of Dalaran back in Legion. So she found her calling, and that's helping to build ships, I guess.
But yeah, it seems like during this quest line, when you're trying to build this magnificent boat to gift to Anduin, some void forces come on in and try to fuck up your lumber mill, and mess up the wood that you're going to use, and then you have to like deal with them a little bit.
This is so silly though, isn't it? Like it sounds cool when I was reading it, but when you describe it, like people are coming to mess up your wood for your boat. It's like, hey, like knock that off.
They're coming to put knot holes in your wood. Oh, that's not going to be seaworthy at all.
That's not up to the Kul Tiran standard.
The quest starts with Cyrus, right? The man who Cyrus is a weird character in this game who was heavily like in the beginning of our adventures in Borealis, and then he hasn't done anything since, right?
I mean, he's still the big chonker that's in the inn.
And he's also the main guy behind like every third 7th Legion quest.
He just says, "You'd be great in the Third War." I'm like, Cyrus, like, did you even fight this war? Are you a false veteran, Cyrus? Because his little lady, right? She's the quest? She's the shipwright? Cyrus's like wife?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I saw Cyrus day one, and I was like, oh, you're neat, and then I just have never spoken to him again. Even though, like I said, he lauds and gives me praise probably every 4th world quest, but I'm like, get out of here, Cyrus. I don't need you.
Oh, it's not his wife. It's somebody else. I guess when you do this quest, you have to go talk to like a world legendary renowned shipwright who has a house full of elementals doing house chores, and then you just find this old lady in a rocking chair, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, the when I looked on Wowhead, the description was name of character is retired in her house and using a fire elemental for what it should be.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, whoa.
I was like, that's weird. That's weird flavor text.
Like, I think they're trying to be funny, but it comes off as elemental enslavement, and we do not approve of that.
Kind of like
elementals are friends.
No.
Kind of like some Howl's Moving Castle shit. It's like, yeah, I'm just using this fire elemental to like cook my sausages for breakfast.
Well, now I'm just thinking about Billy Crystal being the voice of every elemental. I just love shooting water at you.
Wait.
Watch out.
By context clues, are you saying that Billy Crystal was the voice of the people in Howl's Moving Castle?
No, he's the
Billy
voice
Crystal
of
is
the little fire guy.
Of Calcifer.
I've never seen it, so I don't know. He's a voice in Howl's Moving Castle. Billy Crystal.
Yeah, you done got learned today. He was the voice of Calcifer, and also Christian Bale was the voice of Howl.
What? If I was sitting to people who I did not think would be the voices in any of those movies, Christian Bale and Billy Crystal are like top 5 in that list. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton was the name of the evil, or was the voice of the evil monk in Princess Mononoke.
And Miley Cyrus's younger brother was in Ponyo.
Well, that I knew that. I don't know why I knew that, but that one I knew for some reason.
I thought it was her younger sister in the bonus Jonas.
Huh.
The bonus Jonas did something?
The bonus Jonas I thought was the voice of the boy in Ponyo, and then Miley Cyrus's little sister was Ponyo.
These are the important things that we'll get to in the show notes.
The wrap up information will tell you who is and isn't part of the Ghibli English voice dub.
But so you carry lumber for this boat. It feels so weird just segueing from Billy Bob Thornton? Seriously?
Yes. I bet you Ashitaka is someone. Anyways, keep talking while I look up weeb information.
So your lumber gets haunted after you carry it, and it's spooky. Are we going to see Garak Tool again? We have to, right? He has to come back and do something crazy.
I mean, the last time we saw him
I was talking to Will about that the other day, too. I was like, what's going on with him?
Yeah.
Do you remember Thros?
I remember the last time we really
there?
saw him was when we were in the Upside Down realm, and we were trying to get Jaina out, and I think that's the last we saw of him, right?
We're just not talking about this quest at all, but I think that we're gonna be set up for like a death expansion. We have Gorak Tool, we have Helia is basically confirmed to still be alive. We have whatever Sylvanas is doing. We have old gods. We have N'Zoth, who lives in like the dead realm, basically. Like, it seems like we're gonna get some like tie-in soon. But anyway, so this lumber's haunted, and you gotta make it unhaunted.
Most importantly, though, is Immune was telling us prior to the show, when the ship is eventually presented to Anduin, it is given a series of names that you, the player, can choose.
Yeah,
What
you're
I
given
sort of
4
saw
options.
one or two of them. Yeah, what are the options?
Slide, do you have the 4 options up to read for us?
I do. So, there are 4 names that you get to pick for this boat. You can either name your boat Anduin's Wrath, which is...
I also feel like not super appropriate, because if Anduin's been known for anything, it's being not wrathful.
Yeah, he doesn't have much wrath. Wait a minute. Do you think it's short for Anduin's Wrathion?
No,
Confirmed?
Oh shit.
I think it's just saying that like up until now he hasn't had any wrath, but now he literally has wrath.
No, I think it's about him and Wrathion going to the Bone Zone. It's gonna happen.
Also, mark this as 2 episodes in a row when we're talking about possible love interests for Anduin. Where is our Anduin dating sim, huh?
Oh, I would put the shit out of that. Alright, so we have
Same.
Anduin's Wrath. We have Dawn Sailor, which is super lame. We have Lionheart, which is the name of his... that's his father's nickname, right? That's the nickname of... God, what's his name?
Varian.
Varian. And then we have Highwind.
God, I was really ready for one of them to knock my socks off.
I was really hoping that Aaron would get that Highwind reference, because that's what the Kingdom Hearts ship, the raft is named.
Yeah,
Highwind.
yeah.
It's not really Highwind.
I was saying, that's really lame. Fuck Riku's name.
Well, the last one is Tiffin's Melody, which isn't that much better, but it's named after,
that's
like,
the
his
one.
mom.
That's the one that I saw, and I was like, that seems weird to me. Like, fuck that guy who brought that up to Anduin. Like, we should name this cool new warship after your dead mom who got brained by the Defias Brotherhood.
Well, the one who mentioned it is Jaina's mom. Jaina's mom, I think, suggests that one, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's what it says
only
here in
saw
the
name
notes. I mean,
Tiffin's Melody.
Oh no, I think they all. No, yeah. So when Jaina asks for suggestions, you get 4 suggestions from Rosalind Madison, Brother Pike. You get from Tandred Proudmoore, and then Catherine Proudmoore. So Catherine actually brings up Tiffin's Melody, and Jaina says, "That's beautiful, mother." So Jaina liked it, even though she died in the riots of Stormwind. What if Catherine's like, what if it's like a jab from Catherine? She's like, Tiffin's Melody. Of her being strangled during the riots.
that's a weird flex, but, you know, okay.
Catherine's just still salty AF. I only just learned my husband was a shitter like last month. Give me some time to adjust.
But yeah, so then you take your ship, whatever you named it, which, I mean, I think out of all the names, I'd probably have to pick Lionheart. I feel like that one's the coolest sounding name, right?
Yeah, I would choose
It's
either
the most on
Lionheart or
brand.
maybe Dawn Sailor, but probably Lionheart.
The only reason I'd pick Dawn Sailor is because my boy brother Pike suggested it, but yeah, I think it's gotta be Lionheart.
Definitely not Anduin's Wrath.
No, that makes
I feel
no
like
sense.
he don't have that. And like I said, Growlina is not about to sit there and be like, let's name it after your dead mom.
Yeah, so you get your dead mom ship blessed by the Tide Sages, and you give it to Anduin, and then, I mean, that's it, right? You're in.
Yeah, and then you get access to the Kul Tiran race, and then, most importantly, you get access to this beautiful, beautiful horse mount. Yes, another horse mount, but this one's cool.
This one's decked out in nice-ass armor. It kind of has the same armor that you get from the pre-order of Battle for Azeroth, but it's a white horse with, like, different trim. I don't know, I like it. I think it's a sick horse.
It's definitely, as much as I'm not much for the horse thing, it makes sense for Kul Tiran humans, and it's very much decked out, which I feel like makes it stand aside from the other less so horses.
I feel like Worgans on horses just doesn't make any sense. That'd be terrifying for that horse.
I don't feel like Worgen on anything other than them makes sense, but hey, that's just me.
But what can you do?
Yep.
Speaking of Worgen riding things, let's go on in on our sexiest NPC of the week.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'd love to get a piece of that.
Our sexiest NPC of this week is Ma'ra Grimfang from the Jade Firemasters fight within the Battle of Dazarlor, or D8ZZA.
DAZZA!
Ooh, that got me sexed up just hearing that alone.
I
So
won't lie. This is one where I did not know. I looked at her and I was like, I don't know if you'll be sexiest NPC material. But after getting my ass pounded by her on heroic mode for upwards to an hour, I'm like,
external
she
screaming.
she looks like a monk that would buy me a Sony PlayStation.
What about 4 tickets to the Summer Rock Festival?
for tickets to the Midsummer Fireworks Festival.
Yeah, just when I thought at the time I was like, oh, this ugly orc, like, what did she have to offer us? And then she opened her mouth during the fight, even before the fight. But she was like, I am the dragon of Draenor. And I was like, this bitch is one of us. She gets us.
So are we now the Draenor Dragons? I don't know. Unofficial name, maybe?
The Dragons of Draenor, darling.
We'll have to try it for a week, see how it fits. But she's sassy. Like, we talked about her sass at the end, but even in the beginning, she's like, I've killed thousands of Lightforged. These will be nothing. And I'm like, bitch, you're confident as fuck. There's 2 of you and there's like 18 of us. What are you thinking?
And also, your boy is over there with just a single fire shield trying to do raw pyrocast. Like, you brought a very bad fire mage to the party.
Honestly,
so...
he is the epitome of fire mage in PvP. If you have a good team, they'll just fucking target you. You can't do shit, and it feels bad. So I get his pain. I feel it whenever I have to break his shield. Sometimes I don't hit him, so he can maybe get a pyroblast off, because I want to see what it does.
A lot of damage, I'm sure.
But yeah, back to this orc and her beautiful underbite. Ooh.
The thing she has for me that is the sexiest is confidence. She sat there looking at the class screen, and she knew what she was, an AU Draenor orc, and she said, Monk, please. and everyone's like, that's a weird flex. They're not super fun. I mean, I guess mechanically they're okay, but like you won't have a good time. She said, Monk.
Honestly, more than confidence, she has power. How the fuck does she send 16 people flying into the sky at once to do her fun GDR game? How does she make that many clones of herself?
And then murder the fuck out of them. She is the reason we couldn't beat that fight.
I mean, and mad props to anyone who on the first date will bring you to the arcade and say, I'm going to throw down 8 quarters. We're just going to go to town on this DDR Dance Dance Revolution. That's my favorite mix. Let's go.
She was out there, hands on each back bar, just slapping all 8 of the pads.
Damn.
I think that's about all I can say about an orc.
Oh, that was Ma'ra Grimfang, our sexiest NPC of the week. Your awards in the mail. Check that mailbox, Ma'ra. And with that, I think we're nearing the end. I think we're closing out here. We're talked a lot about the raid again, like we always seem to do whenever we mention the raid. I guess we can move into our top 2 of the week. Okay, Aaron, take us away with your top 2 of the week.
Honestly, my top 2 is a highly personal one. During our search for the hive mind, there were different things we had to do to eventually find him. And through a lot of them, we'd kind of goof around and then we'd use a guide. But we got to one jumping on platforms puzzle. And it was decided, much to my chagrin at the time, we're going to math this one out. We're going to try our own. What followed was an hour of us trialing and erring, trying to just beef our way through it. And while it was a little disheartening, it was fun to just try and hang out with my friends and then end up failing every time and eventually having to go back to the guide. But it was a fun hour. So that's my toot of the week.
Toot,
Immunization.
Yeah.
What's your toot?
Well, my top toot of the week, I would just have to second it. Overall, the Hive Mind adventure, it's just so different than any other questing experience that we have done. It was really cool that it not only encouraged but required that you communicate and coordinate with 4 other people, or else there you'd have no chance of doing it. And there are just so many different mechanics and things that you just never see. In particular, we got to pet some cats. So yeah, my top toot of the week is just overall the Hive Mind adventure. Slide, how about you? What's your top toot of the week?
That's probably also my top toot, but I have a side toot that I mentioned, so it's not just 3 hive minds. But I have gotten back into Mythic Plus enough that I have finally gotten my 15 title course to be able to use my professions to make myself some sick armor. I made 400 eye level goggles that have crazy Azurite powers on them. It's like Blizzard knew what they were doing for mage, for no mages specifically. They gave me all of my best traits on one piece for all of my specs. And did you guys know that the engineering Azurite profession gets like special Azurite powers that are only available on their headpieces?
I did not know that, and it's also making me frightened because when I make my alchemy trinket, will it waste talents on alchemy-based stuff? I don't use potions much.
I don't know, but for the engineering one, like I have options to like make like bombs come out of me. I have a cauterize as a frost mage now. I have an auto cauterize that's like part of like the engineering kit of like this Azurite thing. It's super cool, and I feel like for once the profession feels like it matters in terms of like gameplay. I can upgrade to a 415 still if I get 200 Breath upon Swambities. So like it feels like it's in a good spot for engineering for me at least. I know there's a lot of complaints about like professions and like how useful they feel, but for me right now, it's definitely top 2 worthy.
Well, there you have it, guys.
Yeah, I think we're about done here. You guys can tweet at us at Do Not Relent Pod on Twitter. If you have any questions, complaints, anything, if you want to send us dick pics, if you want to send us your tax forms,
please send me your W-2s and your D-8s if you feel me.
Immune's mom is an accountant. She can do your taxes.
Wait, no. Small fee. Aaron's mom is an accountant too.
Whoa. Okay, guys, we got 2 accountants. My mom can do it. She'll be mad about it, but I can make her do it. You can send us your taxes, and we'll send them to all of our mothers, and we'll see if we can get your taxes done for you on time. So send your taxes to donotRelentPod@gmail.com, and we got your back. What about you guys? Where can they find you in cyberspace?
You can follow me, Immunization, or Alex, on Twitter at NewEraAlex.
You can follow me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitter. And you can also listen to me on Heroes Callboard. It's another World of Warcraft community-based podcast that I do with my friend Will. We are Heroes Callboard on Twitter and iTunes. And you can find us on Audio Boom.
All right, another one in the book. Go watch Clockstoppers. Go Google Billy Ray Bob Thornton in, what's it called?
He was in it. His name was Jeekbo.
I don't believe you. All right, that's it for us. We're out of here. See you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.